People who separated/divorced within 1 year of getting married. When did you know it was a mistake? She went out for girls' night and met a new friend named Nicole at a bar. Started texting her a lot, then going to hang out now and then. We had a baby at home, and she kept trying to go hang out with this girl from another town over with no last name, whom I was not allowed to meet. His real name was Wesley. I knew it was a mistake about 2 months into our engagement. I actually broke up with her for a week, but didn't tell anyone other than my parents. Something just didn't feel right. She ended up begging me every single day and I just felt really bad and got back with her. We pretended like it never happened. Got married 9 months later, and she ended up cheating on me a little over a year into our marriage. I still don't fucking understand her logic behind all that, but whatever. It's done and I've moved on, but I'll never understand why she wanted me back so badly and did that not even 2 years later. Edit. Geez. Thanks guys and gals for the kind words and chats. If you're going through a rough patch, it does get better. One day at a time. I've remarried and we're planning on starting a family soon. Would never imagined rebuilding after what happened with my ex. Keep the faith and things will turn around. Not me but my dad. He got back from his honeymoon and went back to work. He came home and something felt off when he walked in the door. She wasn't home when she never ever failed to be home when he got there. When she got back he mentioned that it was weird that she had been out and asked if she went somewhere. She dodged his questions at first, but eventually she admitted that she'd quit her job and was planning on using him as her cash cow. He tried counseling and asked her to get her job back, but she always brushed him off and never took him seriously. He threw in the towel 7 months later, and she started trying to fix things, but it had been 7 months of him trying to fix things, and she had no interest. So he filed for divorce and went on to achieve his lifelong dream. He dated and then married his middle school crush, my mom 28 years strong. Not me, but my sister. She didn't see anything wrong with him moving to another state and her staying at my parents' house and only seeing her husband when she flew to visit. He was in the army. Didn't see a problem when girls would post Instagram and Facebook photos of her husband drunk off his ass at a party when he told her he was at work. Didn't see a problem when he made huge purchases, a sports car, a four-wheeler, that they couldn't afford without telling her. Didn't see a problem when he told her she should get breast implants during sex. Nope, never saw a problem. She didn't realize it was a mistake until he sent her divorce papers. They were married less than a year. I for one wasn't surprised. I tried to tell her a marriage that started with a proposal when both parties were in relationships with different people was doomed to fail, but she didn't listen. Also, yes, this is real. I'm not making it up. I wish I were. Got married in late May. By August or September I found out from my dad that he was sexting my brother's wife, who was my bridesmaid at our wedding. She felt guilty and told my dad, who had to tell me. I forgave him like a dingus, and about a year and a half later I found pictures of him sucking 2 different dicks in our house and also wearing quite a bit of my nice makeup. All of this after we moved to Washington from Florida. It's been wild. We're obviously divorced now. Abusive relationships especially. It's remarkable what you begin to think is normal or is your own fault. My son's dad would threaten me, call me horrible names, tell me I was fat and useless and ugly. He told me he would kill me if I ever went for full custody. And for a long time I actually believed I was the one who was a bad partner. I felt like I deserved his treatment of me. It still fucks with me mentally, and I've been out for over 5 years. And honestly the only reason I got out was to protect my son. Less than a year into actively trying to get pregnant he got discouraged, gave up and started staying out until 4:15 AM with his coworker. He posted selfies on her couch on Snapchat and even went as far as asking her to marry him once he could get rid of me. He had 2 biological children, my stepchildren, that he abandoned at home with me while he was out doing this. The icing on the cake was that on my favorite holiday, while holding my brand new baby nephew in front of his entire family, he told me he wanted a divorce. I was gone in 2 weeks, left everything to him, and vanished. New number, new address, everything. Best choice I ever made. Not me, but my brother. We grew up on a ranch. Bro's girlfriend comes from the city, but during visits to the ranch, she dives right in, helping our mom around the house, and participating in all the stuff we do, horseback riding, ATVs, etc. And claiming, and appearing, to love it. Brother so happy his city gal is compatible with the ranch lifestyle he grew up in. Even though he is now working in the city and their life will be in the city, he just loved that she was able to connect with him that way, and more importantly, with his family. They date for 18 months, make many visits to the ranch, and all is well. She insists that she wants to have her wedding at my parents' home. My folks go all out, have both families there. Everyone has a great time. The next morning, we have a send-off breakfast for the couple. They head to the airport for their honeymoon. My mom and bride's mom are visiting afterward, and bride's mom mentions she's glad my mom had no hard feelings, that her daughter and my brother will no longer be coming out to the ranch. My mom is like, "What do you mean?" Bride's mom says, "Oh, I thought Laura told you that having the wedding here was her gift to you to have your son home one last time with all his family here." My mom goes white as a sheet. We all are stunned. We are confused as to whether my brother knows this, and more importantly, has agreed to this. My other brother, who has his own history of family drama, texts our big bro saying, "Is it true that this is your last time visiting mom and dad?" And big bro texts back, "What are you talking about?" Middle bro says, "Ask your new wife." Needless to say, the honeymoon never happens. It turns out that his wife had been hiding her belief that that man leaves his family behind and becomes part of the woman's family. It was fully her intent to never visit my parents again, to spend all holidays at her parents' home, to have any future children only have relationships with her family, and on and on. My brother literally had no idea these were her beliefs/desires. To this day I don't know if she was evil or just clueless. They remained married for about a month until the divorce was final, but my bro never saw her again after the day after wedding day. I got married shortly after tech school. About 4 months after, we made plans for her to move from NC to TX to join me, as I'm in the military and can't move. 3 times I brought it up. 3 times she said she just needed more time to move. Finally the 4th time she said she couldn't leave her friends and family to move across the country to start our lives together. A year later, we were divorced, or well, I divorced her. She obviously didn't come down to Texas for that. Signed a waiver of citation to not get any news about it. So I basically got to divorce myself, which, after hearing how vindictive ex-spouses can be, I chalk that up to a blessing. Oh god, this exact same thing happened at a wedding I attended about a week ago. She also ran around announcing to everyone that she has to speak for her husband because he's so awkward. He doesn't know how to mingle right in front him. Poor dude looked so uncomfortable the entire time. When I was about to leave she made a joke about how it probably won't last because he's so shy and weird, but then assured me that it won't happen because they are both too religious for divorce. Ugh. Edit. I forgot to add that during the ceremony he struggled putting on her ring. It was too small, so she then made fun of him in front of the church for not knowing how to put on a ring. He begged me to have kids. I wasn't ready, but I thought he loved me. We had money, insurance. He was my high school sweetheart. 7 years together. First year married. Why not? 2 miscarriages later, I caught him sending explicit messages to his best friend's girlfriend. As I read through the messages I noticed the first one started with how horrific my miscarriages were. He thought I was infertile and was looking for a way out. Turns out there was issues on his end, not mine. I talked to him a decade later, and he thinks God punished him for what he did to me, and that's why he never had children. I have a daughter now. Karma is a bitch. My sister got a civil marriage. Then they moved super fucking far away to the middle of nowhere cause he got a good job. My sister never finished college and he would remind her on a daily basis about it. She would get super depressed, and he wouldn't believe her. She got sick once, and he told her, since she didn't go to the DMV that day she wasn't allowed to go to a theme park we were planning on going to that weekend. He would demean her whenever she couldn't get a job or even an interview, and she applied to practically everywhere within a 50-mile radius. He called her stupid in front of me, and when I called him out he told me to mind my own business. If he wasn't twice my size I would have decked him. She left him after about a year, cause he's obviously a raging asshole. When she left he told her she has nowhere to go, and if she went to stay with our mom she would just be a burden like me. I was like 19 and in college at the time. He's a rude fucking dick, but at least she got the car and the dog.